Admiral Bob Harward. No one loves you more than you. Do all the things that come with that. Take care of yourself, invest in yourself, take the adventures, and don't hesitate and don't overthink it. Admiral Bob Harward.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Next Level
Good vibes only.
with Darren and Jessica Salquist.
Coming at you live in Spokane.
Or recorded. So we want to just break this quote down for a moment and then share with you what we're going to talk about today. So Darren read a quote by Admiral Bob Harward. And why don't you break it down a little bit, Darren?
Break it. Again, I like that first sentence. It caught mine. No one loves you more than you. I think that's super important as we move, as we are going through this life, that who's going to love you more than you? Really, that's the hard part I think a lot of people have struggles with. I've talked about this before where when I do work with individuals, one of the things that I ask them is, can you look in the mirror and say that I love you? And a lot of times people have a hard time saying that in that moment, that they're not able to say that because they're seeing things in themselves that they don't like. And the best way to fix that is to get to work on it. And that's what's kind of sad, is to be in that position where you're just struggling with yourself and that you're having a hard time even loving yourself, right? And so if you have a hard time loving yourself, how can you love somebody else? But truly, right? Yeah. That first word in I love you is
I do like that, because all of the things in that quote underneath the no one loves you more than you, that's like the ideal situation, right? No one loves you more than you. So therefore love yourself. And the quote talks about investing in yourself, caring for yourself, don't hesitate, and don't overthink. And that's where I think we get this self-doubt, is when we hesitate, we don't take action, we overthink things, we're not providing the care for ourselves, and we're not investing in ourselves. So no one loves you more than you. So part of us doing coaching and part of us, doing workshops and wellness workshops, things like that, is to help you invest in yourself, because no one does love you more than you. So be that person that can actually practice, look in the mirror and say, I love you.
Yeah. And this is like, it really goes with what we're going to be talking about today. And this is where it talks again, no one loves you more than you, and then do all those things that come with that. And the first thing that it tells you to do is take care of yourself. And I think that's a big struggle for, again, a lot of the people as well, to where sometimes we don't know how to take care of ourselves. What does that look like? And I think that's where going through this process where we all think that we're doing these things to the best of our ability when we really haven't explored other areas. And again, it's like being a parent. Nobody really trains you to be a parent. You see other people do it. You've seen your parents do it, and then you go and do it. And there's so many different things that you can learn. And taking that time to really explore and do your research and make decisions around where do you want to create that change. Yep. And so that's the part, I think, taking care of yourself, where I think sometimes the way I eat is I don't always feel like, I could be doing better. And is that really fueling my body? Am I doing my body more harm, or am I doing my body good? And that's the part where people say, oh, you only live once and enjoy life. And that's the part, or life is short. And that's where I always come back to, life is short is because we don't treat ourselves well, right? We eat probably not the best foods, and we're not getting all the movement in, and we're not spending time around mindset. We're not making sleep a priority. We can go, the list goes on and on, right?
That's right. So I think that is a good segue to talk about what we're going to focus on today. And today we are focusing on the Corefit Wellness Academy, and sharing with you what are all of the components that this program offers to you. And there's a online version of it, but there's also a in-person. So if you're in Spokane, Washington, we're going to share with you all of these amazing components and how it'll benefit you and what's the difference between this program and other programs. There's a lot to it, right? And so as we talked about that quote, we're talking about investing in yourself. And how are you going to invest in yourself? Because we want to know what's working, what's not working, per your example of like, how do I do self-care? How do I take care of myself? And it's life. We're figuring it out as we go. The best way to figure it out as we go is to have a coach, to have a mentor, to have a community of people that are like-minded, that you are going to be able to share in your experiences, in your adventures, and in your accountability. Sometimes it's just having someone to communicate about what's going on in your life and help you be accountable. We talked about on our drive home from out of town this morning, we talked about how being able to have a coach or someone to help guide you, because life is like so many things going on and we all have the tools within us. We have the answers within us, but sometimes we just need somebody to help us organize it and to put it in order and to help us to identify what's working and what's not working. So today we're talking about the Corefit Wellness Academy. Darren has been putting together and working diligently on this program. And so why don't you just kind of intro it and tell us a little bit about this program?
Yeah, I kind of going back to what you just said too, right? About getting a coach and even getting a coach, whether it's what we're going to have in this program, a nutritional coach, we're going to have a life coach, you're going to have a personal trainer, and these coaches that you have that you're going to be working with, or anytime you work with anybody, it's not to say that these individuals have it all figured out. What it is about, they've been on this journey and they've been on this journey for a while, and they're sharing their ideas and they're sharing what's worked for them. They're sharing what's worked for their clients. And that's the same thing I would say when it goes to any type of business or anything that you go and you hire somebody. Everybody started at one time or another, right? People have so many years into this. And so with life coaching, mental performance coaching, self-mastery coaching, they're all one and the same. It just kind of depends on how you want to look at it. And that's where I think with Jessica and I, we came to this point of our life that we wanted to create change in ourselves, where we were going down this path, both having successful careers, but knowing that we wanted more. That what's important, and that what is important is being that best version of you. On our logo, it says right there, one's only failure in life is not living up to one's true potential. And I think this is where it's gets to that point when you say being average, where what did they say, right? Average is that you're the top of the bottom and you're the bottom of the top, and you're sitting in there in the middle. And I think a lot of us settle for average. Comfort, right? It's in that comfort zone. That's that part where it's easier to take a medication and go to the doctor for something versus create change in your life. It's easier to not cook a healthy meal and stop by a fast food chain or buy something that's already processed food. All these things out of convenience that we have come accustomed to. And this is even the sense where how irritated and annoyed people get if their phone's not working, if you lose Wi-Fi connection, you're not getting any type of reception and your call's not going through, or maybe you're at the airport and your plane gets delayed and you're complaining. You go up and you complain to the person at the counter because you're going to miss this, or you're going to miss that. And not saying it could be something very important. With that being said, nobody's doing anything to you intentionally, right? It's just a part of life. And when you can learn to take everything that comes your way as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to be tested on these theories that you're practicing, to gain mastery around these things so you can show up more consistently as that best version of yourself. That's what I think life is. Life is a series of tests, of being challenged every single day. You don't know what you're going to face.
Yeah.
And so this was part of the reason of putting this academy together, this program at Corfitt, and loving what I get to do and focusing on me and getting to really put this into practice, and basically starting, that's what I'm going to say, starting to have that healthy identity, if I'm a healthy eater, where I don't have that identity right now. It's there. I have moments, but there's a lot of times I step back into that comfort zone and I eat something that is probably not serving me very well. And so this is where I think, again, in the program, having a nutritional coach that's going to work with you and go grocery shopping with you, to actually go to the grocery store and look at certain foods, because I know there's always a lot of questions around that. I know I struggle at times when I go to the store and I'm looking at, what do I buy? What do I not buy? Very, especially in the very beginning, when we start looking at these things. And then I look at the ingredients. I was like, okay, which one am I looking for? Which one do I want to stay away from? And there's this long list of ingredients. And I realize what you want to stay away from is anything that has more than 4 or 5 ingredients. It's that, I don't want to say it's that simple, but it doesn't have to be difficult.
Doesn't have to be as hard as we make it sometimes.
Yeah.
I want to really break down do an overview of the Wellness Academy itself, and then kind of dig into like specifics of it. So you've got this component of, like you said, nutritional coaching, which we'll talk more about. You've got mental performance coaching. You have personal trainer. You have a group fitness, and you have these workshops, mindset, and cooking potential classes. So we're going to, on our next podcast, we're really going to break down all the workshops you have and what specifically they're going to be about, so you can be intrigued and get more information regarding that. But that's a huge list of having some really great support for people that join this Wellness Academy. So tell us a little more about those components and how they benefit you, and why you chose those components for this academy.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing it back.
You are so welcome. That's what I'm here for, as your lovely wife.
The components, right? They have not just one person. When you go to a gym, any type of fitness center, a lot of times, you get a personal trainer and you're working on these new goals as the new year is starting out. You want to really increase your health and bring in fitness and thinking, I want to decrease my weight. And the way I need to do this is by working out. And working out's really that's not the tool. It definitely helps. But what the change is going to come from is your nutrition and changing the way you eat. And I don't like to use the word diet, because I don't think, the way we're eating currently, or anybody that's listening and you're asking yourself, well, how do I eat? You're not really calling yourself following a specific diet, right? So you're eating just how you eat. And so when we use the word diet, we always link it to, I have to eat a certain way, or I'm following this program. And what it is, it's the same thing you're doing now. I mean, what you're doing now is a diet. So having that component of the nutritional coach, which is then going to go to the grocery store with you and help you shop and look for what type of ingredients. If it works out, there might even be an opportunity where the coach comes to your house and goes through your cupboards and says, let's maybe remove these items, or these items are okay. But we'll see where that goes. And then have the cooking classes, where based on the way that you like to eat, we're not going to ask you to follow any type of certain program. What we're going to really find out is, what do you like to eat? What foods do you like to eat? And then we're going to create healthy meals around that. And we might change some of the ingredients to make them healthier. One of the things that we would look to change is if you're cooking with seed oils. And so if we are cooking with seed oils, we want to get away from those. We want to go towards olive oil or ghee, avocado oil, coconut, right? Because they don't have those, they're not high in omega-6s. This is where the seed oils come in. So these are things you're going to be learning about in this program. And that's with your nutritional coach. And then you're going to go into having a personal trainer. And that personal trainer, and we're playing with this component right now. We'll see. I won't say what that component is, but basically, if this works, that you'd possibly get an assessment of the way you're moving and functioning right now, looking at a functional movement. And then that person will work with your personal trainer, and you'll create a personalized plan based off of what your limitations are right now, and what areas that we want to increase mobility and balance and strength and endurance. And again, taking what goals that you have and blending those together and creating your own personalized workout program. And also being able to educate that individual that we're working with. So when they are not with a trainer, or they're traveling and they're on vacation, or maybe they travel a lot with work, that they have a routine that they can do on their own. And that could be a body flow. That's one thing that we highly encourage, is doing a morning yoga body flow routine. Again, no more than 1 minute. That's the floor. The ceiling could be 5 or 10, whatever you're going to schedule for yourself. And then not just in the morning, but doing this in the evening as well. And this is, again, a component that we're going to be learning. And that's working with that personal trainer that's going to be creating this customized program for you. And then working with a mental performance coach, working with myself, my brother also potentially working down that path and bringing it all together, because 90% of what we do is all shaped around our mindset. It's how we're showing up. And so through this 3-month period of time, working with your mental performance coach, we're going to learn how to create new habits, and how do we delete those habits or replace those habits that aren't working for us. And that's where we're going to bring in new habits. And then kind of talking about tools, certain tools like algorithms, if this, then that, bringing in what we call AM and PM bookends, which if you go back to a few podcasts, obviously there's a lot of this stuff that I'm sharing right now that's going to be on there, and bringing in accountability. And that's what this is. You're going to have a team of coaches. You're going to have 3 coaches right there working with you to help you show up and be accountable, and not just be accountable, but to hold yourself capable in doing what you said you would do. And that's what this is all about. There's so many times that we start New Year's resolutions, goals, right? And how long do they typically last?
Not very long.
28 days, right?
Yeah.
The research shows 28 days.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people see this. When you go to a gym, it's packed in January. Come February, they start fizzling out. You're going to lose about half of those people that are new. And then after we get to March, then you're going to start seeing some of the others fizzle out. And maybe you're going to see 5 or 10% maybe hold on and still show up and really make those goals. And it could be for various reasons. Maybe they have a personal trainer. Maybe they're working with some type of coach. Maybe they have a system that they're using and they're following that help hold themselves capable of and doing what they said they were going to be doing. And so that's a big benefit to working with the self-mastery coach. And also we're going to be using the app Heroic. So you're going to have a habit tracker in there. You're going to be able to write down goals that you're going to be working with and that you're going to be shooting for every single day as we break these down into small, easy pieces to make it obtainable. And then you're going to be using the book, Arte.
Yeah.
A lot of the tools that we're going to be learning are going to be in the book Arte. So you're going to have this hardback cover, this physical thing that you can hold and turn these pages and read how to utilize the tools that we're going to be learning about for that month. And then you're going to have the app. And in the app, there's going to be recordings that are also going to be talking about that tool. So you're going to have not just a series of coaches, but you're also going to have tools to help you be successful at this. And this is where I'm really excited to do this, because there's so many things that are at your hands to help you be successful, that the only way really that you're not going to be able to be successful is if you don't do it, if you don't show up.
Yeah.
And this is where that quote comes in, right? Loving yourself.
Investing
in yourself. And that's the part where that's what we need to do, is invest in ourselves. So that's a big part of the coaching.
Yeah.
And then another component of that is our community that we have at Corefit, right? This community of individuals that show up for each other, that help hold each other accountable and capable. I mean, I'm getting almost emotional just thinking about them right now, because this the awesome things that they do together. We had members in Phoenix this last weekend doing the Spartan race over there. We have other athletes and members of our gym preparing for marathons. We're already talking about Ragnar for next year. What ones do we want to run? And then Spartan races and marathons, Ironmans, all these individuals. And then people that want to get healthy for their families, to be able to lift their grandkids up. And we have a member that just left for Spain for 3 months. Her and her husband, both members of the gym, and just working towards things and knowing that everything that we work on at Corefit, with the mindset also being included in that with the fitness, is it helps individuals flourish and it takes people a lot further. And then that community of surrounding yourself by like-minded individuals that are working on the same goals that you are, that understand that at one point they were right where you were, right in that beginning. And so I love it when new members come in, because the Corefit, the community just surround. You're gonna love this gym. It's great, and all these positive things, and they make you feel welcome. And then you develop friendships there. That's the biggest thing I think too, is that pairing up with somebody, getting to meet somebody that is on the same journey that you are, and then those individuals help you create the new habits that you want to create for yourself because they are doing them.
Yeah.
And that's what's awesome about surrounding yourself around individuals that are working on the same things that you are, because more than likely you're going to pick up those positive habits. Just like the opposite, if you're around individuals that don't have the most positive habits, take a look. So I mean, take a look at your circle of friends and look at your habits and say, how many individuals, how many friends do you hang around with on a consistent basis that are really working towards the direction that you want to go?
Well, it sounds like a really comprehensive program that you're offering a lot of different components that can meet people where they're at. What I heard is you're talking about being able to customize for people. You do have this also group fitness classes too, which are super fun, and you kind of get energized off of each other. But you also are going to be having these monthly workshops that we'll talk about in the next podcast, where people can come and you can hear each other's stories, and you can relate to each other, and you can understand each other, and be provided with tools and education and learning opportunities that you get to apply to life itself. I hear, you've got multiple coaches that is going to be supporting you. So you're connecting with different leaders and coaches, and that you have this connection, this community, that, life happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to be able to use our movement as our functional fitness. And what is really cool about Corfit, and we've mentioned this before, is that it's for all people, all ages, all fitness levels. We talked about the fact that sometimes people say, well, I need to work out and get fit before I can go to the gym. And that's not our place. Our place is for you to come, showing up exactly where you're at, because you will relate to 1, 2, 5 people in the group, and you'll be surrounded by support. You'll be surrounded by connection. You'll be surrounded around by smiles and the ability to be able to just support you to achieve what your goals are.
Yeah.
And you talked about that movement part of it. Movement not only, is great for you, but it helps with your mood. It helps with your energy. It's not just about, we want to help people realize too, it's not just about, losing weight, right? Why? What's the reasons behind that? You want to live longer. Like Darren said, you want to lift your grandchildren up from the floor. You want to get down to the floor, right? And you want to be able to get back up.
Mm-hmm.
And each person inspires each other. And that's the greatest thing about having this group, this community, and why you're building this wellness academy, so that you can help people achieve their goals. There's beautiful philosophies and concepts and things that you're going to learn through this program, through the Heroic app, through Arte, and through the coaches and what they're going to provide for each person on an individual level also.
Yeah. And the goal of this program is just to help you fall in love with the process. I mean, that's what this all is. It's not to focus on the outcomes, outcome goals. We're going to go for process goals. And this is where we get to fall in love with the process. Because if you fall in love with the process, you're going to be successful, because this is what we get to do. And we don't have to do any of this. This is all a choice. The way you're eating, the way you're living your life, everything you're doing right now, wherever you're at, it's a choice. And if you're happy and you're doing everything that you want to do, awesome. Keep doing those things that you want to do that are making you happy. Where we get to create change is those areas in our life that aren't making us happy. How do we create change around that? What's in our control? What can we do? Or what can we be working towards? So those are those things in life that we get to do. Again, we don't have to do any of these things. It's all about the process.
That's right. And you're enjoying the journey. So tell us a little more about the duration, when you're kicking this off. I know you have an early bird kind of start, and then you've got a start date, and kind of what does that look like if somebody was interested to join?
Yeah. So depending when this podcast drops, December 1st, early registration opens, and to December 14th. And then from December 14th to December 31st is the first string, or the first edition of the Corefit Wellness Academy. This is going to be for 3 months. After that, those 3 months, then it's going to be a month-to-month basis, and we're going to have different options. But even after this program, as we're going to be talking about this, our podcast is going to be the upcoming features. We're going to be talking about a lot of the workshops. And so that's where also in this program, not only are you going to have the app, you're going to have the book, you're going to have the community, you're going to have access to a community that's on Zoom that meets regularly, but you're also going to have the podcast to follow. We're going to be talking about a lot of the things that we're doing in the workshops and sharing those ideas and tools. So this is also something that you get to refer back to. And the way we do this is repetition, right? The more reps we get in, the stronger we get. Mm-hmm. And so that's what this is all about, is putting those reps in.
That's right. And in the description of the podcast itself, you'll have contact information to the Corefit website. And that's for the in-person, face-to-face, if you're in Spokane or surrounding areas. There'll also be a link to the Next Level Transformational Coaching, where if you would like a total online version, if you're not local, that also can be customized for you too. So check out those links in the comment to gather more information. Even if you want to just have a consultation or a conversation of what does the program offer, if you have any questions that you need answered, and you can go on those websites and check out for some more information.
Yeah, definitely reach out to us for, free consultations, 30 minutes, and we can kind of have a conversation and see where you're at. If it takes a little bit longer than that, great. Then we can go from there. We can kind of see what that relationship will look like. And is this the right program for you? Or even just coaching. If you're looking for mental performance coaching and you want to work yourself in a different direction, those are all things that we are here for. And we can always do those consultations to see if it's a good fit, because it's got to be a good fit for both of us, right? Definitely teaming up with somebody that you can have a conversation with. And really what this is all about is just, it's relationships that we build. I think that's the biggest joy that I find, that I get from the job that I do. What I get to do is getting text messages and emails every now and then from my clients of just sharing wins. And that's what's awesome about that, is I would not have ever received those emails from those individuals had I not chose to do what I do. And that's what's cool. And I get to help those individuals and be a guide, or be someone in their life that has helped them figure things out. Because that's really what we do, right? Is we help people figure things out. We don't tell you what to do. We listen. We might make some suggestions, but it's up to you. You get to carry this thing out, because nobody loves you more than you do.
That's right. That's right. So your official launch date with
January 4th.
January 4th.
Kicking it off with the workshop.
That's when day one begins.
Yeah. Everybody's day one, but that's the
right.
official day one.
It's official day one. Yeah. Anything else you want to share about the program?
Just, if you're interested, or if this is spiking any type of curiosity, just reach out to us. Send us an email and let's have a conversation. And if not, still go out there and find something that works for you. Create the change that you want. And if you don't like something that's going on in your life, you get to change that if you so desire, if you feel so inspired. Check out Heroic. And that's it, man. Just live your day. May your days be filled with smiles.
And I just want to remind you that if you reach out to Corfit Inc. Or Next Level Transformational Coaching, and this may not be a right fit for you, we are happy, as we are establishing these great networks in our local community, we're happy to refer you to a place or a component of your life that you'd like to focus on more through this amazing community of athletes, wellness coaches, doctors and counselors, and really subject matter experts in taking your life to the next level. So we'll find a place for you.
The Shmee of Me.
The Shmee of Me. Become the Shmee of Me.
That's right. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining us today on Next Level.
Good vibes only.
Peace.